Hey guys, today I'm gonna make a video on PI. We're gonna talk about PI and how to make tier 3 items at maximum efficiency. So we're gonna go to like one of our planets and we're just gonna start from scratch and craft from zero and produce like a tier 3 item. I selected in this video the gel matrix biopaste, but you can just do this with any other tier 3 items. I selected this because it's has like a good price of ISK, and also you can actually use it for like nanite paste besides the high grades and all of that stuff. So it is a pretty good item, and in order to just do that, we'll need to get, you know, the planets. We'll need to just have first scan like a, or have like a planet where we want to go and do those activities. And to do that, we have our own planet, or you know, set up. So in order to just make like a, it works with any other tier 3 items, but we're gonna depict it from, you know, how we managed to create the gel matrix biopaste on like a single system, ideally where we have those necessary planets to do those. So in order to just build the gel matrix biopaste, you need different types of input, and as you can see, we need superconductors, we need biocells, and we need oxides. And we need to just go down the chain to figure it out first what we need for those specific tier 3 items. So if we go like the Planetary Industry, we know that this is the input that we need to create the gel matrix biopaste. But it could tell, I mean, more things. Is just that we need to go down the chain and figure it out. So if we need, for the example, superconductors, what do we actually need for superconductors? We click on like the info, this I here, and we figure that out. So for superconductors, we need plasmoids and we need water. And what are we looking for is that what do they have in common to make these superconductors? So what planet do they have in common? So if we go down the plasmoids, they create suspended plasma, which can be made on these 3 planets, on storm, plasma, or lava. So we need to find one of those planets, but the water can only be found on other planets, right? If we go on that at tier 0, there's a bunch of planets, but they only have one planet in common, and that is storm. The lava, they don't have lava or whatever it's needed for the plasmoid, as you can see, plasma or lava. And for the water, we don't have that. So the only, we don't have plasma, we don't have lava that we can extract aqua liquids, and the only one that they have in common is the storm planet. So that means we need to build this like on a planet, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna use one planet to build those tier 1s, so you can create them into tier 2s, and we're gonna use just one planet to do that and to be that more efficient. Next, and you go down the chain for the other things as well. You know, we go down, what do we need for, you know, a gel matrix? We need biocells, right? So for biocells, you need biofuels, which, you know, can be raw from, you know, barren, temperature, and oceanic. And the precious metals can be extracted or can be fabricated from this. And we have barren and plasma. So the only planet that they have in common is barren. So that means we need to get a barren planet. And the last one is going to be the oxides. And the oxides, you need oxide component and you need oxygen. And if we look at the oxide components, you can create them by extracting reactive gas. The reactive gas can only be extracting from the planet gas. So that means we need to find for the oxides or for the oxygen a gas planet. And let's see if the oxygen has a gas planet in common, and it is. And now we know that the 3 planets that we need are the storm, the barren, and the gas. All we need is just to buy them. So we go to the market. I already have them bought, but you can definitely do that yourself. So we're gonna do that. So I have the barren, I have the gas, and I have the storm, and you can just view the markets for each and one of them, and you can find them for a price. You know, you buy and you put it in your cargo. In this epital fit that I'm having, you can do this in other fits as well, that or haulers that can transport some planets. And you know, we have the planets necessary to create the gel matrix Biopaste. And once we have those items into our cargo, we can go to our planet that has, or like the system that has those 3 items. We need to find a system that has those 3 planets: a storm, a barren, and a gas. Now I have one for myself. I have one configuration. You can do this like anywhere, including high sec, although I really recommend to just find yourself like a wormhole and install yourself some stuff, so you can just have it pays like 0% tax for doing Planetary Industry. But if you do this in like convenient systems that have those necessary items to create your own tier 3, that's fine for me as well. Now we're gonna go there, and meanwhile, you know, we can have this on autopilot, and we're just gonna do this on like every planet. So I have my own configuration, but I'm just gonna delete it for the sake of the video, so I can actually explain to you what I'm talking about. So we're gonna start like from scratch. I'm gonna submit, and we have the gas, right? This is a gas planet. So in order to, we need to build oxides. It's also good to just have the notes necessarily what you're actually looking to extract. For example, we know that I need to extract reactive gas and noble gas. So it makes it a little easier for me to just build those structures. Now I have the command center already installed in here. I didn't have deleted. It must be somewhere here around the planet. So what are we gonna do is just show you how you can start. We're looking also for the best configuration. So first, in order, we need to scan and look for those specific items, right? We need the tier 0s, where we can find those tier 0, the noble gas and the reactive gas on the planet. And we look at the scan, and I recommend to just have your skills maxed out for these activities. It is actually important because it will increase your strength on finding the right spot or the right pods on the planet where you can just extract the most amount of raw materials. So I actually recommend just getting all the skills for the Planetary Industry. I know a lot of people actually say it's not that important. It kind of is if you're really looking for to do those kind of activities, because you're looking for those pods. So what do we need? We need reactive gas, right? We need reactive gas. Let's take a look. And as you can see, we find those pods, and we're looking for those, like, those are great pods, right? Those two, and they're very close if we need. This is a great spot for the reactive gas, but we need to find something in common with the noble gas. So let's take a look at noble gas, if there's anything close, and it is somewhat north. So it needs to be somewhat close where the extraction can be made. So we can just put it like right here and extract from north. So this is actually a very good placement where we can just put our extractions. Now that we know that we have reactive gas, we have noble gas, which is in north, and it's in red. That's very good. So let's centralize. I think this is the place. Or like make it, give me a second. Extractors. You show us the range as well, which is also pretty cool. But the range can be expanded a little bit. So we're looking to be a little bit more in north to cover also the other gases. But I think this is an alright spot. Now let me look at the reactive gas. Yeah, I think that's alright. Right? Let's look at the range. It's a little bit outside of the range of those two, but I think I can actually reach it because it expands if I get the extraction like big. So I think this is actually an alright spot. It's quite in the middle for the extractions. So we're gonna get those extractions going. This is like the first thing I like to just build on the map based on scanning. And let's do 2, right? Okay. I think that's okay. We'll give it a try. So let's submit. So we'll need those 2 extractors so we can just extract those 2 different types of things necessary for the oxides for the tier 2, which is required for the gel matrix biopaste. We are only gonna build the tier 2 on this planet because we can do that at the maximum efficiency. And now that we have those extractors, we also need to make sure. So one thing that I need to tell you is that like every factory needs like an hour to produce. Like the tier 3 needs 1 hour to produce, but require like two times the output of a tier 2 facility. So let me just be a little bit more in depth and explain what I mean with by that. For example, I need to make, let me see, robotics, right? And if we look at the robotics, we need mechanical parts and consumer goods, and those 2 items are produced by the tier 2s, but they only produce 5 units on one facility. So you actually need 2 facilities to produce those stuff at maximum efficiency. So you actually need for example, if you need to make mechanical parts, you'll need to have 2 tier 2s mechanical parts to produce the tier 3, if you know what I mean. That's basically the core idea, and that's how we're gonna build our planets based on that intel. So now that we have the extractors, we have to build the nodes. In knowing that intel, we can go down the chain. If we know that we need, from the tier 2, we need not 5, we need 2 tier 2 producers or facilities for the tier 3. That means we need to go down the chain and figure out how much extraction do I need to do from the gas extractors to have a constant extraction rate and to produce the necessary output for the tier 3. That means if we look at the gas extractor, we can just install nodes, right? We have install nodes, and we know what do we need. We need noble gas and reactive gas. So we're gonna do noble gas, and we will have to just install a couple of nodes first. Now we'll do 4 first for, you know, for the starters. We'll do 4 for the others. We'll probably need more in the future, but we'll need some intel first on how much power grid we need for our total. So I have my planet upgraded to level 5. I have the skills, so I can just use quite a bit of power and CPU, but I need to figure out if we have to build 2 times the production of a tier 2 to make the oxides, to make like 10 oxides per hour. We'll have to figure that out, how much power we need if we go up the chain first. Alright, now we arrived at the, like, my entrance. Alright, give me a second. You know what? I should probably actually just be docked. I don't think I need to go right now inside yet to explain. Now, actually, I don't even know if I have to go all the way. So I just explained that you can buy those and you just go to one of the planet and install those command centers. I'm pretty sure you should know how to do that. Alright, now we have the extraction, right? Build, and now we need to know the power grid necessary. Let me just... And now we need to just create the tier 1s as well here, and also... Give me a second. And let's have them somewhat close. So can I just quit this? Thank you. So those will extract, so we'll need to produce, to make some tier 1s as well. I'm gonna build them close because that will require us less power grid or power load, whatever it's called. We're gonna build them all close if that's possible. Okay, and then we need... So I build 4 because you need 2 for each. A tier 1 will produce every half an hour the necessary output, and of an item. So it will do that specific item that you're actually looking to produce in half an hour. So you need 2, it'll have like in an hour. But also because of the 2 extractions, you will need double that, so that's why you need 4. Alright, and then we're gonna build advanced ones. I think we can build them down here. Just make it, you know, we good. Now, also the tier 1s are, because the extractions are usually just takes more time, you know, than 1 hour to just extract. You know, the producing happens like every hour, but the extraction just takes like longer. It takes like cycles, and sometimes 4 cycles. That's why you need to have them stored. So we're gonna build some storages as well closer. Those are necessary for the tier 1s. As you can see, we're just quite a bit of power grid. Now we'll also need like a Gauss launcher to just be able to extract those items. And I think we're good. This is like the basic setup to just make maximize it. Now we have a couple of power load remaining to just build a couple more nodes or just customize it a little bit. But now that we know how much do we need tier 0 wise to produce the necessary, you know, output to create like every hour. So it just a tier 0 or, you know, a tier 1 facility requires 3000 units half an hour. So it requires 6000 units 1 hour, and that'll be one facility. So we need, if we need it for 2, we need 6000 plus 6000, that'll be 12,000 units. So in order to do that, we need to just create a configuration that for the noble gas that averages 12,000 per hour as an output, and we're looking for that. Now obviously if you increase the duration of the extraction, the average per hour also decreases. So you need to find the right balance. You have to just install the, you know, how many nodes you think you need. Also you just like have it like on the, you know, because you don't want to do this daily or something. Let's just say we want to have this done every 7 days, right? That'll be quite difficult, but we'll give it a try. And now we're just gonna put the extraction. Alright, let me, here we noble gas, and let me just scan. Yeah, we're scanning the noble gas. Okay, just want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So now we're looking at the average per hour. We're looking for 12,000, right? Let's see if we can get to 12,000 units. This is what we look for. Won't be easy if we want to do this every week. So the thing is, you can just install more nodes and figure out that way. See, I barely cannot make it, so I'm just gonna install one more node just to make sure. Now it will require more power grid, but, and I could just extract 14,000, but I can just increase the duration. So I can do this, you know, it's 12,000. It's pretty good. So probably need to just separate them a little bit. Actually, probably a bit more. There you go. Still 12,000. You can do this every 9 days, which is pretty cool. I don't want to have, I want to optimize them all the way. No. Okay, so that's the limit. Alright, cool. So we got the, wait, where is the 1%? I'm just suppest. There you go. Alright, I'm not gonna just configure it longer. We good. I think it is the right extraction. So it's just gonna take us 9 days to do that configuration. We should have some power load remaining for the nodes. Those are also important. And we can actually just start extracting. Yeah. And the extraction already happened, and it just take 4 days. Now, we're doing this for the reactive gas as well. I think this is where we need also like 12,000. And let's move the nodes on the hotspots. I think this is actually better to just have it like on better range. As crazy as that sounds. Now I think 14 days is a bit much, so 7 days? Okay. Do we need to just install another node as well? Sure, let's do it. Let's have 5 nodes on each. Move them a little closer. Maybe have it also like 9 days if it's necessary. And yeah, we're really looking for the average per hour of 12,000. So this is, you know, the amount needed to extract the tier 0, so we can just keep having a sustained production. And there you go. Wait. No. We're going up, not down. Good. Look at this. This is great. Alright, so we're just gonna submit this extraction as well. I don't know, did it start it? Yeah, it is started. Good, so those 2 extraction are set. We extract 12,000 per units per hour. Now we need to install the facilities of the tier 1s to make those necessary items. Now we also want to make like a route for those items and some links. So let's just create the links first. I like to just have links between all the necessary. I think tier 1s are just good enough. Alright, now the tier 1s linked to tier 2s. Okay, let's create the link. Okay. Now you can do this a little more efficient than me and just like make the right links at the right, but wait, do I just like go over? I might have just created way too many links that I don't have the power grid remaining. Yeah, so I need to just be a little more careful. You know what, I'll decommission those real quick and just make them from the start. And we'll think a little bit through how to do, you know. Cool. Alright, so this will be routed to those 2 facilities. Like, it has to be routed to 2 facilities. So we have to just create those links here and here. Those are need to be created. Okay, because we need to create a route here. We need to just install the, okay, so we extract here noble gas, so we're gonna build here noble gas in this tier 1. Where is noble gas? Oh, how is that called actually? No, it's noble gas and it goes to oxygen. Okay, so we're gonna build here is oxygen. Submit. We're gonna do the same for this one. Submit. And now we can route. And we can route those 2. And the rest is gonna be routed at, oh, we need to just create the link. like at one of the storage facilities, because it creates the output is a little bit higher. It's created like every 4 hours, so you actually need a storage facility for the extractors. So once the 4 hour will pass, I'll just gonna create a route for the noble gas remaining that is being transferred to those facilities. So I guess I'll have to just create a link between those two, and that's good enough. All right, so this one is done. It will create noble gas, and the oxygen is going to be routed. And now what we can do from oxygen, we had to do oxides, right, for the gel matrix. Yes, so we have those tier 2s, and we have to make it into oxides. So I can install oxides on here, and now we'll need to create the links. Those links are necessary. And I guess a link between this. Like to be able to just export it. So then we can create a route here for the oxides, a route for the oxygen once it's created to be there. Same for this oxygen. Nice. So we deal with the first part, and we created the first link. Now I'm probably gonna do this like in a couple of parts. Now I'm gonna deal with the other parts, or with the biocells and the superconductors. So I will conduct as well a planetary industry on how to build those. Now that we have those chain, I'm gonna do this for the gas as well. So we're gonna build a gas. Give me a second. So we have the necessary. We're already extracting it. Okay, so now we need what can be built from the reactive gas. That's oxides components. So we're just gonna install in those tier 1s the oxide components. Same here. And now we just need to create the necessary links. So now this reactive gas is going to be extracted. Now we need to create a route, which is going to be there. One of the facility and one of the other facility. Wait, this here. Okay. So those are extracted. Also there's remaining that we need to create also a link between one of the storage facilities, and we're gonna create a route there too. Now same thing, once like 4 hours are gone, there'll be units here stored, and I will create a route to the tier 2s or the tier 1, so I can just keep on producing. So let me just create a link. Might need to just... I'm a bit short on that. But... So actually I need to just reset and maybe have like one less extraction here. So as you can see, I'm like struggling with the power grid. So I can just remove one of the nodes or that I'm extracting. So I can just stop extracting. Remove one of the nodes. And now we're still looking to have 12,000, but in order to do that, we just have to just reduce the time. So that means, you know, it means the time that we need to just keep on resetting or doing this activity, which literally takes one click. But you have to do it more often than not. So we're trying to put this like on the red spots so I can get the maximum extractions. See if we can get to 12,000. Well, if we keep reducing, we're eventually gonna get there. There you go. As you can see, we can do this with 4 nodes. And, you know, so we can have more power load to install those links between those structures. It's just that I will have to do this more regularly. Like every week and not every 9 days, which is also fine. Now, we'll do probably a separate video on synchronization, like to have like the same planets. Or, you know, so I can just do this reset like once every weekend, or once every weekend, so I don't just have to do this like separately. I want to have all the planets synchronized, so when I just look at this thing, I just click one button every week. I don't want to do this like for every planet that has his own specific timer, and that's just pain. Alright, so we're gonna create the links now that we have the power grid. And yeah, so this is being extracted here. Those link exist, this link exists, so this one doesn't exist, yes. Give me a second. There you go. We got the power grid now. So we have to route those as well to the facility. So now that this is being transported right there, let's create a link between those. Wait, I'm just missing the track right now, sorry. Alright, create this. This is the tier 2. Okay, cool. So the tier 2 needs to be installed. We need to create a tier 2. We create here Oxides. We'll need to create here Oxides as well. It's already installed, right? Good. And Oxides are going to be exported. So we're going to create a link. It's good enough. Okay, so we're just exporting every hour 10 Oxides, which are the necessary required for the tier 3 gel matrix and Biopaste. Alright. Now looking at these tier 2s, we need to route them as well. And first we need to just create the links. Not even sure if I can. Did I even submit it? I think I haven't. Alright. So I figured the first part. And it has the oxygen. And this produces... Okay. But it has to be connected on this one as well. Alright. Well, we need more power grid. I'll do this like a separate video where we're just gonna continue, you know, figure that out because it's gonna take a while. We're gonna do this in parts. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you into the next explanation video.